If you want to record. Okay, welcome to Angela's Caches. This is part 3 of the interrupted expose that Jesus and I were doing. Well, I was basically just having Jesus show his research and evidence. And predictably, we had interference at the time, and we had backlash. So the two main backlash points to highlight. First of all, my name is Angela Power Disney, Angie Power Disney. This is Jesus is his nickname, and this is Andy Divine to anybody that doesn't know us. My blog's angelascaches.org. What's the name of your blog, Jesus?
It's on the Just Pace, and it is called the Just Pace. Let me get it up for you. It is called the BBC Ricky Demon and the Breakdown of Evidence Hampstead.
Okay, good. That's quite a long title for a blog, but well done. And Andy, what's the best place for people to follow you at the moment? YouTube and Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook under Andy Divine. I'm also on Gab, and I also have a YouTube channel called /Andrew /Divine.
Okay, good.
And I have all my articles on LinkedIn.
And we're all on Twitter as well.
Also, all Jesus's works are all on there too as well.
Yeah,
I made a blog of his work. Yeah,
that's great.
An article of his blog.
Okay, so just to catch people up, because I'm going to put this out as a blog with the 3 parts, and it's an unfolding story daily, so it's worth following it. So yeah, we got crashed during the interview, and then my Zoom crashed, my whole Zoom professional crashed, and I had to get tech involved to fix that. And then El Coyote, Karen Irving, employed person for reputation rescue, allegedly for Ricky Dearman, made a video, which she hasn't done for several months. So she was quite alarmed by the evidence that we had even managed to bring forth before we were crashed. And slander and defamation, very, very, the title of the video, as we're presenting evidence, she makes a retaliation video and entitles it Angela Power Disney's Connection to Pornography. And then 5 minutes into the video, or 3, whatever, she says, oh, by the way, I'm not saying Angela Power Disney does have any connections to pornography. In fact, quite the opposite. I categorically say she doesn't. But, and then she tries to do a rebuttal with no evidence whatsoever and without addressing the very serious allegations that proof and evidence was given for. I couldn't watch more than the first few minutes. I knew the tactic. Many people only read the headlines of videos. They don't click on them. They just read the headlines. So I knew that was a deliberate satanic inversion, which has been done to me so many times. As I've exposed the Hampstead cult, the alleged Hampstead cult and all its activities, then they would mount a campaign to prove me what they were. So they would say she's a child abuser. I'm Angie's a child abuser. Angie's she's a madam of brothels all over Europe, or Angie's a charity scammer, or the latest was Angie and her connections to child or to pornography. So it's a satanic inversion tactic with no evidence whatsoever and not addressing serious evidence. The other defamatory and libelous thing she allegedly, or apparently did on the video, I didn't watch it, was she said that it looked like Jesus was snorting cocaine and had evidence of cocaine.
Had
Had
under comments under my nose.
Yeah,
I'd like to see the screenshots of this cocaine. Yeah, not photoshopped, not fake evidence, defamation.
Yeah, to anybody that's been working with these people, or exposing these people for a long time, we're very familiar with their inversion tactics and smear tactics. But the truth is, survivors in particular will carry scars from childhood trauma. Very common amongst survivors is ADHD. I've had that diagnosis. Jesus has that diagnosis. Many, many survivors do. Many survivors that have come through the children's home route, their education is impacted. So they may be absolute geniuses on the computer, but they might not be able to spell, for instance. They could have dyslexia. All these little things, dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, a lot of it is linked to either vaccinations or childhood trauma, interruption to the brain pathways while the brain is developing. So Jesus has ADHD, dyslexia, and allergies. You know, he does not use cocaine. And for you to intimate that Jesus uses cocaine and Angie's got connections to pornography is despicable and beneath contempt. So that's as much energy as I'll give to that. Well, we have the law that you've broken, and Jesus has that on his blog, and we'll feature that. But just to finish where we left last time, to complete that part 3, I'm going to play you the part where roughly where we left off in the video that premiered that night at 6 o'clock. So share screen, done. That's not what I want to share. It's this. Where have I got that? Oh, maybe it is. This is it. Right. If there's anything you need to say, say it. I'm gonna just take this down.
And put onion in.
Yeah. Right. Can you? Is that on the screen? Right.
That's on the screen.
It's clear.
Here we go. So we are loading up the web page, or I should say the onion inside the dark web. And it said, oh, this has moved, right? So I click it, and it takes me to the onion. Right, so this is an onion in the dark web. I am searching, as it says there, searching. So, as you've seen, I put this into the dark web searcher. I've typed in Lighthouse Media, New York. Just pause it.
So
Just pause it a minute, Angie. Copy this, stick that there.
Go ahead.
So then, just the people and the people who do not know, I've already stated this, and I've stated it to multiple people. The multiple people already know. The people who are already know.
I don't believe it.
Oh, I do.
I don't believe it. Frozen out again. You're still there, Andy, aren't you?
I'm still there. I can hear you.
Right, I'm going to continue with this part because Jesus just gets knocked out no matter what we do when we try to show this. I'm going to continue sharing this.
Sorry, I'll just stick my page back up for you all to see. It's there, being copied and pasted. Lighthouse Media, New York. So, as you come down the page, you've got all this child porn, all this stuff. Now, there you go. Straight away, New York Times. Yeah, there is the onion. That's your first query. I have found this through the man's company, right? By searching this, the New York Times is here enlisted in all of this child porn. And these are cameras where people are hacking into people's devices, TLC monitoring systems, prepaid services, yeah? And this is all how I have found the Hampstead thing, right? So we've got New York Times. You've just seen me do Lighthouse Media, New York, yeah? I type in New York as well, right? New York, there you go. New York, we've got all this New York Times secure drop. So I keep going down, all New York, I love New York. All of this, there's pages and pages in mirrors and in this onion search, right? So, hey, something's going up here. So I go to Media New York, next search. Here we go, Media New York. Yeah, keep going down. New York Times, all of these pages, all in child porn. I don't need to go any further. I don't need to see that because it says there, kids under the age of 5, you name it. So there you go. Next one, Lighthouse. Now, here you got to see it all, guys. These are all code words for paedophilia, right? So here you go. Same thing again. Lighthouse, right? TLC monitors, hacking, and all this kind of stuff. Deep web dots, all of this, marketing, illegal trading, dark rabbit. Look, there's your keyword, guys. Dark rabbit. What's the opposite? So I go back to the top. I ain't gonna make this long. I'm just gonna run through all the keywords I've got there. Lighthouse, New York. Go to the next one. Right. Keep going through. Lighthouse, New York. And all I've done is type in keywords. Everything which is evolved round, you know what subject, right? And it all, look, New York Times again. Involved in the mirror. All in the mirror of child porn, right? What more that needs to be said? Here we go again. Lighthouse, New York. Now, this is a company. This is something to do with a company. But when I click on this link, it will take me into nastiness. This is what you call a clone of the mirror. And all I've typed in is Lighthouse, New York. Yeah? And there is pages and pages long. And that is what you call a duff. I ain't going to click it. I ain't going to show it. Right? But as you can see, New York Times, all this kind of stuff is in child porn. So I'll go to Lighthouse Media. We'll go to the next one. Right? Here we go. Lighthouse Media. Oh, look. Lighthouse Media, all of this stuff. TLC monitors. Yeah? Child porn. We found the New York Times in here, and it states the same mirror will be under the BBC. Look. There you go. Look at this. All this nastiness. Why isn't the FBI on this? Look, vampires. Who's a vegan vampire at this point?
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Disgusting. Vampirism. Yeah? To do with children. Yeah? Easy. All of this stuff is here. There you go again. Look. And it's showing you how to do all this stuff. But I'm going to show you something prevalent after this. This is just an example how it's all here. Easy onions. Look, there you go. And all I've done is typed in Lighthouse Media. Yeah? So, I'll go type in Hampstead now. Yeah? Watch what happens when it decides to copy. So, here we go then. So, this is how the information was found on here, yeah? So I type in Hampstead, right? Look what happens, guys. There's 4 pages long. You've got all of this stuff. Planet Debenham. You've got... I'm not even going to say it because there's just all in disgusting, vile stuff. There you go. Hampstead. There you go. People's things, they're all here in the dark web, right?
And German ones too.
There you go. I keep going. I'm going to go through. Look.
And Spanish.
The Russians talking about Hampstead. They're putting it there. All of it's coming out. Shining a light on the darkness. This is basically what this is. And all I'm going through is the pages and to show you, look. Don't you believe me? There's the evidence. There is the evidence in your face. That them Hampstead...
Abusing young children, baby snuff films. Wow.
Just leave that there for you, and it's there in your face. I'm showing you how I found it via these onion links, yeah?
Wow.
So that's the first thing there, page 4. So the next thing what I do is I type in Christchurch.
Wow.
Right? I've already seen that, right? But what I'll do is before I type in Christchurch, look, this is how the government, yeah, don't want to do all. Type in the boy's name, yeah? Look whose name's there. Same onion link, same place, all back where it was last time. It's there in the dark web. MI5, this is your job, not my job. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm giving you the evidence. I'm giving you the proof. So you guys, there you go. So I'll type in Hampstead Christchurch.
Just to reiterate something I wrote in my blog, that 2 researchers who are not Jesus have contacted me saying they have found Gabriel on the dark web in child porn. And previously in 2015, Elisa was found as a 9-year-old being pimped, connected to the father she accused. And I can't receive those links. I can't take that evidence because I would be criminally liable for being in possession of child pornography. But 2 researchers have offered. And then when Scotland Yard tried to do a Scrabble together post powerfully further investigation, I went and stayed with and met somebody they subcontracted to do some investigation. Now, he resigned from the job because he smelled a rat. Originally, they recruited him to come at it from a parental alienation angle, that Ella was a piranha parent who was trying to discredit Ricky Dearman over a custody battle. None of that's true. She already had custody since 2011. Ricky Dearman had relinquished parental rights and gone to Hollywood to work with the Supreme Master Shanghai TV and, you know, the Clintons and Hope for Haiti and all that kind of child trafficking side. And he had walked away from the parenting rights. So it was nothing to do with custody battle. But this guy who's the worldwide foremost expert on parental alienation, he was sent videos and documents by Scotland Yard and asked to give his professional input. And he started to do some work, and he said he also found evidence of Gabriel, or I think both children, but I think certainly Gabriel, and I have all this on audio record, on the dark web in child pornography. So my question to Karen, as she puts out defamatory and misleading and malicious videos with titles like "What are Angela Power Disney's connections to pornography?" What's your answer to that, Karen Irving, Ricky Dearman? What is your answer? Why are the Hampstead children featuring and still featuring in child pornography on the dark web? And to the authorities, I would say, I can't take receipt of this evidence. It's criminal for me to do so. I would even appeal to somebody I've not seen eye to eye with in the past. John Wedger, if you still have your clearance to view child porn for the sake of prosecution or for the sake of evidence gathering, please contact me, because people are offering to give me this evidence and I'm not legally allowed to view it or produce it. Otherwise, I'll be... It's the same as when I think somebody had, in Pizzagate, somebody had evidence of pornography and they sent it. It was connected, pornography on Facebook they found evidence of, and they sent it to prove it, and then Facebook reported them to the police or the BBC. Somebody else can remember this and pull this. But in transmitting the evidence as proof, instead of the evidence being investigated, the people that produced the evidence were reported to the authorities. So I'm not going down that line, but that's just the truth. I've had 3 different people now say to me, Gabriel is still on the dark web. And previously, Elisa was featured on the dark web being offered for live child pornography. And the person, this specialist in parental alienation that I went and spent 2 days with, talking and interviewing and listening, going back and forth, he also said that he had found evidence of the children on the dark web in child pornography.
There we go. Look, here we go again. So, 2 pages long. And you could even just look. And you can take it out. Look at that. Different keywords you find in the same stuff in the onion.
Oh,
there you go.
God.
All of it.
Oh my God.
Satanism, paedophilia, vampirism, cannibalism. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So let me just do something. So guys, all this, as you can see, was found via this public domain article. Because what happened, I was looking at this, I already knew what was going on, right? We have the company, the Lighthouse Project, let me get it up, way back, machine. Right, this is from this man's website. From this man's website. When it loads up on the web machine. And this is how, yeah, the nail has been found in the coffin, right? Just going to show you. Oh, look. There we go. So, there we go. So, here we go. And as you can see, these were all of his websites on the Wayback Machine. Yeah? Porn search ending, Naya
Supreme
Stories,
Master.
Corey IHM, Tristan White Lucicius, Holy
Dating.
Band Bail Bonds, yeah? Adult Directory, yeah? Weight loss intentionally, there's vegan, there's the Viagra,
Yeah.
vegan weight loss blog, and of course, look what's here.
Ricky Dearman.
What do you think's there?
Wow.
What do you think's there?
Oh, God. Ricky
So
Dearman.
this Wayback Machine is on all of his previous websites, right?
Wow. Wow.
So when you type it in, Lighthouse Media Group, there we go. It's all here. I did it in the step-by-steps in the video, and what I will do is, yeah, after this, I will play the video so you all can see how I have done it.
Just to say here that Jesus had made this simplification video of evidence before the last show I did with him. And you will have seen live on that show where between him making that evidence video and us doing our show, a lot of the stuff had been hidden and we had to work to get into it a different way, which he managed to do before he got crashed. And also to say that we've lost Jesus again in this broadcast. You saw that, Andy, the minute he started to show stuff, he got knocked out of the meeting.
It was on record, so you can see it
Yeah,
again, yeah.
so I just pray this is still recording, because I did a pretty explosive interview with somebody else a few days ago, and my Zoom got knocked out. So I just pray again for protection over our technology, and if there's anything we can do to help Jesus not keep getting targeted this way with tech, we'll try and do it. The other thing I wanted to say was that the guy that Scotland Yard had wanted to just trot out a standard, oh yes, the mother wants custody and she's demonizing the father. When he smelled a rat and some things didn't add up, he emailed Scotland Yard and said, I need a few questions answered. Can you address this, this, and this anomalies? And Scotland Yard's answers to him was so unsatisfactory that he resigned from the panel. He did recommend 3 other people, and they flew somebody from New York, but they flew, or from America, I think it was New York, but they flew in specialists to say what they wanted to say. They were not interested in getting to the truth about the Hampstead case. They were interested in spinning a narrative. So we'll just carry on here.
And you're all going to be like, no way.
This left me devastated, this video. I took
So,
a couple of
here
days
we
to
go.
get
When
over
it
this.
loads up.
It's not
Right.
graphic, it's just
So
what it
then,
proves.
guys, so Lighthouse Media Group, yeah?
Which is Ricky did.
This is how I found it. New York, as I've already done it in the video. London. 2 addresses, 2 different places, 1 company.
Wow.
And I've already broken it down, and the evidence is out there, right, on my Twitter, and I'm going to show you the step-by-steps of how I've done it at the end, yeah, by playing the video.
Now, just to add in here, I was on a live stream research session, which we didn't record, but you were there as well, Andy, weren't you? And we phoned the land registry, because we know 47 Hollycroft Avenue was Ricky Dearman's address, and it's still being used as such on Company's House. But that was well known during the time of the disclosures in 2015. And so we did a Company's House search, and we paid to find the background information. And the freehold of the property is owned by a company called Moselle Properties. Am I right? You still with me, Andy?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, and guess who one of the people were that were freehold owners of that property, Barbara Kahan. And we have, I don't know if we have recorded, but we have the documentation. We paid to get the documentation from the land registry. Moselle Properties, one of the directors of whom was Barbara Kahan, and possibly now impersonated or continued by her son. Oh, great, we might have Jesus back. Okay, hello. Now, I tried that last time and it didn't work.
If you've invited him in, you have to still invite in.
Shall I send him another? Can he not use the original invite?
Well, I've been sending.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Yay, that's fantastic. Right, Jesus, we're okay. Are you there?
He's just connecting audio. There he is now.
Guys, I'm having computer issues. I've got a Zoom update, and I feel like this is going to have to be postponed because
no, we're doing great. Listen to me, Jesus.
I can't. You're not understanding. My computer keeps timing out, and this update keeps forcing me off of Zoom to do the full update. That's why I'm saying to you. That's what's just happened. It restarted my computer, and then it forced me to update Zoom.
What's that sound in the background?
I mean,
what's the sound of a video playing in the background?
His computer's he's having problems with his computer.
I wonder if he needs a new one or if it's just really high-level targeting. Right, he's clicked out again, but he doesn't understand we've managed to present anyway. So I'm going to continue and just let this video finish. Is that all right with you, Andy?
That's fine with me. I can say this. What he's having there with the issue with the update is exactly what happened to me the other day. It just shuts me off. It switched me off, so I had to update. I didn't have an option. He wasn't having the option.
Updating Zoom or updating the whole computer?
His Zoom wants to update, and it's not going to let him carry on.
Zoom asked me if it could update before we started this, and I just said, ask me later.
Yeah, but you've got an updated one.
Yeah, but then it asked me to update again. I updated about 5 days ago, and then today it gave me another update indication. But it allowed me to defer it. I deferred it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll finish this, and then we'll see if he can update, and we'll have to do part 4.
We did it, I could say. Not just me, we did it. Yeah? So you've got these companies here. This is what it was. And he's saying, oh, another one's coming in San Francisco. So in the making, basically. That's what he's saying. So you've got New York and you've got London. Some people will know this address. Some people will not know this address. So all I've done is I've taken, like I've done, Lighthouse Media, yeah? Like I've got here, Lighthouse Media, the keywords, New York, yeah? I haven't done Lighthouse London. Let's have a try, Gillett. Let's have a try. We'll try it. We'll do it here while we are here, so you all can see it. And if I have to add it to the keyword, you're all going to see it yourself. And then I'll put London. Let's see what comes up. Oh, look, it's the same kind of thing. Look, same thing, guys. Nothing different else. All the same.
Oh, little cams, pedo webcams. Oh,
and
dear
guys,
Jesus.
Yeah, let's not forget, right? Look, when I show this, what does that say? Embracing the world through digital expert media marketing. Through expert digital media marketing. Apologies. That is what the subliminal message is. Media companies have more control than the average company. You guys should know that. Everybody should know that. Right. So
it's worth interjecting here as well. In the blog I did in June 2018 about slime and the eBay promotional that Dearman put the 2 children on with himself, that it talks in that, with the fake names, it talks about having reached 70 countries worldwide and having done presentations, including to special needs children. So this is a template. This is they've got this nailed, this global, this worldwide distribution and this marketing, online marketing. Karen Irving's implicated in that. Her husband is implicated in that. This marketing. Slime, admittedly, under the name Gab Williams, was congratulated for that. That was part of the eBay prize, being a runner-up for the Entrepreneur of the Year. Boasted about reaching 70 countries and doing multiple in-person presentations, including to homes for the disabled and special needs.
Forget that a minute. That's just an example from the Wayback Machine. All of his companies and his removing stuff. I have previous screenshots that there's more companies on here with websites, but as you can see, he's trying to get them removed. So, onion links, we'll go back, right? So as you can see, all I've done here, yeah, for example, you type in onion links, and it tells you here all of these things, how to go to the dark web, how to do it, yeah, where to find it. But the MI5 and the authorities are locking these people up, right, who are creating this distribution. And it's all there in your face. It tells you in a public domain how to get to the darkness. Now, this is another thing. This is a market, basically, in a public domain. Tells you how to hack. It tells you how to get Bitcoin. It basically tells you how to be a money launderer, scammer, drugs cartel, you name it, right? And it is all there, right? And this is all included in child and human trafficking, because all of this money, where does it go? Look at this, guys. You see where I'm coming with? This is the kind of thing, yeah, our children should not be able to view. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just get my YouTube up, fraud and corruption, and I'm going to play the video just for you all to see. Straight up. Just for you all to see. If some of you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. I'll post the videos of the links in the description, and I will post every single thing on this video after what I have shown on the screen, so you can see it for yourself. But please do not let your children see or go near this information. This is dangerous stuff, right?
And it's dangerous for children to access or view. That goes without saying. But we're trying to rescue children featured in this horrendous trade of child pornography, live, webcam, baby snuff movies, child porn, child rape, child sacrifice, and so on.
And people need to be aware, right, that the internet is no place for children, because this information, or the information of what they are after, this can be against any of us, even the government. And the MI5, all of these people should be cracking down on this stuff, because it's the children who they're after, and the innocent people. Innocent people. So let me get this video up for you. It's on my other channel. As you can see, guys, I've got 3 channels. 2 of the formations of what I've built. The one which I'm on now, this is the channel of how I'm pushing it out. I'm sorry about this, because the man got so mad because the truth has come out. The evidence is there. It's there in the dark web. Yeah. I've shown you. He tried to attack me. He tried to come with all this fake threats. Do you know what it is? I don't bite. I don't get triggered. You feel me? Don't get triggered, because the truth is what I'm coming with, nothing else. Let me get this up. So there. Here we go, guys. Show the video. So there.
I'll just address that thing about triggering as well, because I have the utmost admiration for people like Jesus that don't get triggered. I, as a survivor, sometimes do when I see my name dragged through the mud again by the likes of Karen Irving or Ricky Dearman or whoever has been trying to destroy me for 5 years. We were doing research similar to this back in 2015-16, and the people running Hampstead Research were so badly trolled. They actually had a suicide exit plan if they were finding that as they were discovering this kind of information, their computers were being remotely taken over, and Ricky Dearman's name was coming across the screen, and they were being laughed at. They left the UK in order to successfully continue their work, and the only people that had the address of where they were going to in South America was the visa office in the UK. They gave it to no family, no friends. They kept it. They knew their lives were in danger for the level of work they were exposing on the Hampstead case. And lo and behold, their address was leaked from the Home Office, from the visa department. Their address was leaked. So they are no longer active in exposing the Hampstead case because they were driven right to the edge where they have a dead man switch to release even more information than they did release during that fantastic couple of years when Hampstead Research was exposing everything. But they had ropes in a room and people to take their animals and a dead man switch to release all their info if the death threats came to pass with a knock on their door. This is the level of backlash. We saw Isaac Cappy get murdered. We've seen Breitbart. We've seen David Kelly. We've seen John Patterson be sectioned and arrested multiple times. We've seen Matthew Williams get arrested multiple times and then charges dropped, but 2 years pure stress. Yeah, Matthew Taylor, sorry. Pure stress to see if they would crumble. We've seen my house get raided and all my tech. And I would just appeal, this is the second time that Jesus has been knocked out of a live Zoom recording. And if it's a case that his tech needs updating, does he use Apple Mac? Does he use Windows?
No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does use a Mac.
Right, no, so he uses Windows.
Microsoft.
If anybody's in a position to upgrade Jesus's technology computer, I know somebody donated mine within 24 hours of me getting raided. And if that person or anybody else watching this is in a position to upgrade Jesus's technology, his computers and so on, so that he can continue doing this work, please get in touch or please make a donation. I'll put my GoFundMe and please mark it Technology for Jesus, as we call him. Right, I'll just continue this. And sorry, before I finish on this, Andy.
And just on more of the attacks. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you about what was done to me. I mean, they all said they was going to come over here. I mean, they'd even got that Simon Bean with their lies to say he was going to come over here and stick a knife in my head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is all out there in there. I mean, so it's not just what they do, it's what they get other people to do too.
Yeah. And Matt Taylor did an affidavit where he documented the series of attacks and smears and right to the government level. He was getting prosecuted, accused of stalking when he was exposing things which were admitted.
Still getting that as of right to this day right now. And it's still happening right now.
Absolutely.
And that goes with Julie Jones and Katie Bourne, who still haven't, just the same as they are also one with John Patterson too.
That's right.
The whole point on all this is I'm not interested in for slander, just simple facts. And the simple facts are, and that video that John's just putting out now is the fact, he says, what's she got? Stalkerphobia. Because everything's a stalker.
I know.
And the point is, I mean, what is it you actually have to do to bring evidence for a policeman to act?
Yeah.
You have to, even if you went in with a dead body and say, look, this man's been killed, they'd say, no,
you're stalking by accusing the person of that.
Yeah.
And this is the tactic that's being used. Ricky Dearman running around trying to do campaigners and whistleblowers for harassment, malicious communications. Katie Bourne and Gillian, whatever her name is, running around trying to do people for stalking. And in America, they're using some domestic violence law against the likes of Field McConnell, where they say it's domestic violence to send an email to somebody in another state who you've never met in your life. They're using a domestic violence law to say, jail them quick. They're being domestically violent by sending me an email. So you're absolutely right. How do we bring evidence without being accused of stalking or harassing?
Did you know about John Hoth? What they've done to John Hoth? You know John Hoth?
Yeah, I know a little bit about that case. Update.
Well, John Hoth had all the evidence on from smuggling drugs, taking money in from smuggling drugs, growing cannabis on a farm.
It was by the authorities in Kent, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had all that evidence, and he presented that to the same people, Katie Bourne. He had the evidence because it was on Katie Bourne, and John Hope's now in Lewis prison.
Yeah, this is what's happening, people, and we need to turn the tide. We need truth tellers to actually link up and have each other's back and get the information out there. John Patterson had all the evidence, you know, documented every bit of work he's done for the last, what, 5, 7, I mean, I know he's been at it for 20 years, but he's documented at least every step of the way for the last 5 to 7 years. And he's been multiple times arrested, and he's currently been moved from being on remand in Chelmsford prison to now being in a slightly more pleasant mental health institution, which he doesn't need to be in. And he's managed to refuse forced medication, but he's still not at liberty. He's still not free.
It's not under any mental health act or any medication or anything.
No,
they're just keeping him there they're just keeping him there because they don't know what to do just yet.
He's been deprived of his liberty. He can't walk out, can he?
They're keeping him away from his evidence, and they don't want to talk about his case.
Yeah, yeah, and this is what's happening, and this is where the tide is turning, because how much evidence do we need to come with before the tide turns and people see through the transparent tactics of just banging up the whistleblowers? So I'll just go back to screen. So you've spoken to John, and you heard a long conversation, as I did, between him and somebody else, and he's sounding pretty good, isn't he? And he's allowed a lot more freedom where he is.
Yeah, I've been doing my little bit to shine the light. Because at the end of the day, I see it like this. Yeah, I mean, I don't like plausible deniability, and these people in these positions that are doing all this, they've got plausible deniability unless they have the facts presented in front of them. Once the facts have been presented in front of them, they have a duty to do what is correct, to stop and correct those wrongs. Yeah. So basically, what I'm doing is putting that information in front of these people so that they better do something. And like I say, something has come of that. John's had a visit. And like I say, he's in a lot better situation at the moment. He's not free as yet, but he's told that they don't mind him talking about it so long as you don't, bring any of the nurses in it. Well, the point is, if the nurses not being anything bad to him, which they're not, then they're not going to get mentioned. I mean, I've said that all the way through. All I do is I'll make people famous, and I hope it's for making for the good deeds you've done.
Yeah.
If it's for the bad deeds, then that's not my problem. I'm still making you famous. I'm just telling you what you're actually up to. We have a duty. We have a duty to make them aware of that. They have to be conscious, to be conscientious.
Yeah. Well done. That's a huge breakthrough that John is now at liberty to keep communicating the truth that he has evidence of, and he's not being force medicated. And the facility that is holding him against his will have said, as long as you don't, upset the staff working here in good faith, we don't mind if you continue your whistleblowing work. That's huge. It's not ideal. Of course, it's ideal if he was free and
but it's certainly leading back more to some of his human rights. At least they're giving him some of his dignity, and they're obviously also at the same time, don't forget, the nurses and people that are in that hospital are also witnessing to what he's actually blowing the whistle on.
Yeah,
so they're actually looking into his stuff as well. So, like I say, a good grape can go into a bad grape and make them good, make them good.
Yeah.
And what makes people good is the knowledge. Because, I mean, it's hard to understand or believe or accept what's actually really going on.
I know, it's
people don't want to believe it. And because they don't want to believe it doesn't mean it's not happening. And it's still happening. And those people that have put their lives on the lines and their necks in the noose to do it, they should be get the credit, and they will, because it will happen. Like,
I don't think
the thing is, those people that are, they think it's not going to happen.
I don't think any of us do it for the credit, though, do we? We don't do it for the credit.
No, it's a duty. It's a duty.
It is. Every decent human being would do the same. Some of us have more time.
Every decent human being should be doing it right now, and the only reason it's going on is because they're not.
Yeah.
So, like I say, if you want to know what the problem is, go and look in the mirror.
Yeah, and the only thing needed for evil to continue is for good people to do nothing. So do you have an update on Carol Woods at all?
Yeah, I was just before the call, I was just about to send my second notice to Ian Trennell, who's the CEO of the CQC, and in that email is also to multiple other agencies of the NHS, plus President Trump. You've got Boris Johnson, the head of the Privy Council, and there's loads.
Okay.
They're all in the CC of that, and then I have another 50 odd.
So this is the kind of work. This is the kind of work that goes into getting the limited results that we're getting bit by bit, clawing back. Carol Woods is also free, and no small part thanks to Andy and his team and others, many others that worked and somehow managed to wobble through without, too much.
It's not about me. I mean,
no,
at the beginning,
not about personalities. But what I'm saying is, Carol Woods is free, but unfortunately, she's not as brave or as able, as John Patterson, in as much as she is still being force medicated, even in her own home. So
she has a fear problem. She doesn't want to go back in there again.
I know, and
she's had 20 odd years of this. This is institutionalized. 20 years of torture.
Yeah.
It's instilled in her. So it's not their fault, even though they're doing wrong. You've got to, there's excuses. I mean, there is an excuse.
Yeah. I understand. I'm not decrying her at all. And I get fearful sometimes. I do. I find myself holding back sometimes, like, oh my God, I haven't heard officially from the DPP. I've only heard off the record from somebody in the Gardaí that there will be no prosecution of me. But I haven't had that in writing. There is no guarantee. Look at how many times they've multiple arrested or raided Matthew Taylor. Look at how they did it to John. So it is a daily thing where you have to find your courage.
No, and the laws are very, very. This is the point. When you've got the laws to use against them, they are more subject to it than yourself, believe it or not, because they're subject to the corporate rules that they're under.
Well, I want to acknowledge as well the guy you introduced me to, Baron David Ward, because I think his affidavit had a huge part to play in them backing off. From the detective sergeant saying to me it was more likely than not that I would be taken to trial. It flipped, and I think it's no coincidence that was using that affidavit.
Well, that was also sent to John Patterson at Chelmsford Prison.
Yeah, I think it's very powerful, and I thank you for that, David. Right, let's finish this with the absence of Jesus. And as I say, if anybody wants to help Jesus update his technology to try and circuit, go around this thing that's happening, then that would be great.
Let me just big screen it for you. There we go. There's a Wayback Machine. There's me highlighting the companies. Yeah. There's me highlighting the companies, as you've seen on the screen. It might look a little blurry for some weird reason.
It doesn't look
but anyway, this is the video of what I did. It might look a little blurry, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the video. I'm going to post this video that I've done in the description. And you all need to see this, how I've done it. Look, here we go again. Lighthouse Media Group under Humpty Dumpty's. It was on the Wayback Machine before. There you go.
Ricky
and I click it and I show you, and it's there.
I think
all in the video, it's all there. If I have to re-upload the video to make it in a higher definition, I can do that. There's Company House. There's the names. As you can see, this is a media company. There's Secret Bases, which he tried to get my IP address banned from, but it didn't work. Because it's all in public domains. This is what you are looking at. Public domain information which you cannot be done for. And I have researched all of this myself and with the people who we've done this with. And this has all been completely checked. And it's this is like, oh, because all of the information is in a public domain. Public domain. What Martin you say? It's gold in front of you.
I'm just going to say as well, I'm going to put the blog that Jesus is updating daily with evidence. There's another pseudonym used by Dearman, Savinder Singh, and we proved that on live research Zoom sessions as well, and that's in the blog as well. Some of you might not want to go through the evidence piece by piece, but the point of doing this is to show you we have it. And if Karen Irving or Ricky Dearman want to make innuendo type videos implying that Jesus has been on cocaine or I've been connected to pornography, come with the similar level of evidence or retract and apologize right now.
He who makes the claim
Amen.
has the burden of proving it, and there's no proof on any of them.
Not at all.
They're allowed to slander all the way through. Funny thing is YouTube and Google allow them to do it.
I start highlighting now, because this is the step-by-step. You've all got to be able to understand how a simple step-by-step is. And when you watch the video and you see it, all I've done is I'm highlighting the names. I'm highlighting the thing. I've put them in to the search. You'll see. Look. And it's all there. I've done it on the screen in the step-by-step videos. And that's the same onion searching thing which I've used.
I'm going to skip ahead a bit on that because, as I say, I'll put the
Taking
link
you
to
to
that.
nastiness. Something is in there as a highlighted red and black warning to say, hey, that is there in the darkness with CP. All these media companies are all involved in CP. What is the issue here?
Child pornography.
And this could be any one of your children.
Why is there so much child
Do you know
porn
what I
in the
mean?
dark web?
This could be any one of us.
In the darkness, yeah. Amen. Amen. All right, so...
why is there so much child porn in the darkness?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So guys, I hope you can see what I'm showing you there.
Right, so I'll stop share there. I will post links to the blog where Jesus is updating new evidence daily, and I will post a link to that video with the step-by-step. For people that aren't hugely technically minded, I'm just doing this for the sake of saying there is evidence and fact to base the claims that have been being made about the Hampstead Ring, the alleged Hampstead Ring, based in London, UK, but connected to New York and beyond. Anything else just to close off, Andy? Thanks for being here. Sorry to take so much.
Only to the obvious for the people out there, to make them understand that, you know, we have a limit to where, as far as truthers can go. That is not our job. That is the FBI's, that is
Absolutely.
the CIA, that's MI6, that's whoever it is that want to take on to this. But they're trained to do that, and we've seen enough. We don't need to see anymore.
There's absolutely enough there for the authorities to do a proper investigation, not a Mickey Mouse one with a certain narrative that they want to come up with.
It's their duty to click the links and find out what the information is in there.
Yeah, yeah.
The evidence is all there. It's up to them now if they're going to get up there, get up and do something.
All right. Well, all of this, by the way, all of this has been forwarded to the police and the intelligence services, and also to researchers worldwide. And feel free, other researchers, to build on this. You know, we're doing our best as lay people, and we're appealing to the professionals to do their job. All right, Andy, thanks a million.
Okay.
God bless.
God bless them. Take care. Bye-bye now.